I'm pulling into the parking lot and I get another text from Tesla that says, we've decided that due to the complexity of the service appointment, we're going to need to move this to a service center appointment, not a mobile service appointment. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You will not believe what I am doing right now. I am once again on the way. Well, I actually got to run a quick errand first, but then I will be on the way once again to my local Tesla service center for what I hope is the last time. And I'm really nervous to even say that. There's no faux wood grain in this car that I can knock on, but if there was, I would, because this has been quite the saga. So if you guys haven't seen my previous two videos on my 2024 Model 3 service appointments, I'll have them linked down in the description, or there's a little playlist linked above. You can watch those. But basically, every time I take the car in, one of my complaints gets fixed, sort of, and then several of them don't get fixed, and then some additional thing happens. It's happened almost every time where I've taken it in to get something fixed, I get it back, and there's something broken that wasn't broken when I dropped it off. But in the end of my last service appointment video, I mentioned that I actually had a mobile service appointment scheduled. And that was fine. It was just for a couple little things that I figured they could fix at mobile service. Got it scheduled, got it confirmed about, a week in advance. As the day got closer, whatever, they gave me a more specific time window. So I woke up a little early to check my phone and make sure I hadn't missed anything. And I did have a text from Tesla that said, we're gonna be there between 8:45 and 9:45 a.m. And I'm like, all right, I gotta get up right now. I gotta get dressed, gotta take the dogs out, do the whole number, get to work on time. I'm pulling into the parking lot and I get another text from Tesla that says, we've decided that due to the complexity of the service appointment, we're gonna need to move this to a service center appointment, not a mobile service appointment. Oh, and we scheduled it for 6 days from now. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. You couldn't have told me this yesterday, 3 days ago, when you confirmed the appointment, whatever the case may be. You had to wait until I'm almost there after you've given me a specific time window. This is just par for the course. This is perfect, honestly. This is exactly what I expected to happen. I should have known. So here we are, next Thursday, and we are going to drop off the car here in just a bit, and hopefully they'll be able to fix all of my annoying issues. Just in case you're not caught up on what those things are, one is the trim on my door panel. It needs pushed back in. They actually broke that the last time we got it serviced. I asked them to fix it and they did not fix it, even though they said they did and that it was within spec. It's not. Second, they had to order a new trunk liner piece for the top that they're going to replace because it's misaligned, so that needs to get fixed and replaced. The passenger side window control does not work over there, so that has to get fixed as well. And then finally, again, if you've been following the whole saga, my steering wheel was making this weird noise whenever I would turn a certain degree. It would go shh, shh. So that needed to get fixed last time. They fixed it, and then after about 2 weeks, it just started doing it again and it was way worse. So we'll see if all those things actually get fixed today. Fingers crossed. You never really know. But I'll drop the car off here in just a bit, and then I'll bring you guys back once I actually pick it up, and I'll give you the full rundown of what they actually did or didn't do. We'll see. See you in a sec. All right, we're in our loaner again. They gave me a Model 3 Performance this time, so can't complain too much, except for whatever that noise is. Should I check on that? Well, nothing's grinding. I'll see you guys when I get my car back, which could be by 5 p.m. today. Who knows? See you then. All right, we're back. I picked up the car. It took a little bit longer than I thought. I actually had to wait 24 full hours for them to get everything fixed, but I got it back and I wanted to walk through what exactly happened. So, wow, there's a goose right outside my car. What are you doing, brother? Look at him. Bro, what are you doing? Anyway, so I got the message this morning that it was ready to be picked up, and obviously you can go through the service summary, which is one of my favorite parts of what Tesla does, even though it's a pain in the butt to take it to service. The fact that they list every individual thing out for you and then let you do a drop down to actually see what the remedy was, if there was one, is really nice. So I had customer states the liner under the back windshield is misaligned. Well, it says is like misaligned. I don't know if I said that, but if I did, that's super millennial of me. Owner states that the trim on the door isn't fixed. We'll get into that. Owner states passenger window control doesn't work. Yeah. And then the steering wheel started making the same scratching noise. So they said they resolved the backliner thing. It does look like they fully replaced the backliner, which is good. I think it looks okay. It's still kind of bubbly, but they replaced it, so whatever. The trim piece on the door panels, it's a lot harder. It's like they did something to it. It's a lot harder to tell from the naked eye. I can still see a tiny little bit popped out, but it's really not as noticeable. So I think they did attempt to fix it, even though it said no labor performed. I think when they took the door apart to fix the window control, which they did fix the window control, it works now. I think they took it apart again and put it back into place more correctly this time, which is fine. That's all I really wanted them to do, was to make it not as visible. Now, the steering wheel scratching noise, it said underneath, under the drop down, could not reproduce. And then it said, test drove the vehicle, unable to replicate noise, no repairs performed at this time. If you had had a camera on me when I saw that this morning, I had literal steam coming out of my ears. I'm like, this is the most obvious, obnoxious noise, and it is not correct. The car should not be making this sound. And I'm like, I don't care if my vehicle is available for quick pickup. I'm not doing that. I'm going into the service center and I'm talking to a person. Thankfully, I think they could kind of detect that I was frustrated from my previous visits in the way that I worded some things. So they sent me a message that said, please come into the service center to pick up the car, which you don't normally do. And when I got there, I looked through the whole lot. I didn't see my car anywhere, so I'm like, it's definitely inside. So I walk into the service center, there's my car. So I waited for just a bit till someone walked up to the front, and I told them that, you know, they said they couldn't reproduce the issue, but while I was waiting for them, I actually got back in the car and was turning the wheel, and I could replicate it instantly. So I was like, I'm not leaving here until it's fixed. The main guy was super nice. He pulled up my information, looked up the service request, then he went back and actually got the technician that was working on it. The guy was super nice. I didn't catch his name, so I'm sorry, but shout out to the service tech at the Blankenbaker location. He sat in the passenger seat, and I showed him, you know, it was going shh, shh, whenever I'd turn the wheel. And he was like, yeah, he's like, when I test drove it, it didn't do that. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's doing it. It wasn't doing it when I first got the car. Then after you guys replaced the steering column control module, it started doing it. Then you fixed it, and then it started doing it again. So there's something clearly not right. But I mean, it's very clearly doing it. He's like, no, I hear it. It's doing it. So he's like, let me take it back and look at it. So I went and sat in the waiting room. They took it back. I was only back there probably like 15 minutes total. And then they came back and got me again. And how he explained it to me is basically when he took it for a test drive, it was in the easy entry mode. So the steering wheel was in just its kind of normal position. But when I get in and I put my foot on the pedal, all the stuff adjusts. And so when it adjusted and pivoted back a little bit to my set position, he said there's like a cover, basically. There's two retaining clips like on this little, you know, cover that basically sits on the back of the steering wheel like this, and only one of the clips was popped in correctly or fit incorrectly. So when I was turning it, that clip was like grinding on the other one, I think is how I understood it. So he's like, I took it off, I popped both clips into place properly, reseated it, switched between profiles multiple times, and turned the wheel all over the place, and it wasn't making any noise. So he's like, you should be good to go. No noise, we're good to go. So that was great. So my last experience at the service center, not great. You know, this past time, they seem to have fixed all of my issues. I really appreciated that they took the time to actually park my car inside, have me come inside so they could look at everything. You know, that felt like an extra step. And, you know, that's what you want. When you're frustrated and you're not getting your concerns dealt with and they're not able to replicate something, it's really nice for them to actually bring you in and say, hey, can you replicate this for us or whatever? And then be able to fix it quickly and efficiently without me having to wait for, you know, an hour or whatever. That was great. I really appreciated that. I think the repair saga is over for now. I feel like as soon as you say that, something catastrophic happens. Here's to hoping that doesn't happen, but I'm happy that everything is sorted out for now. I really appreciate you guys being here for the whole saga of getting this fixed. If you guys have been having any similar issues, drop them down in the comments. I feel like I've got some wealth of knowledge now on some of these issues, or if you're having other issues with your Model 3, I'd love to hear it down in the comments section. And I think I'm gonna go out and do some more FSD testing. So if you guys enjoy those videos, drop a like, hit subscribe so you don't miss those upcoming videos. I've already made a few. I'll drop them down in the description, and I'll put a little card above so you can watch the playlist of my FSD videos. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go let the car drive me around for a little bit. We'll see you in the next one.